Ethan Carter was not important. That was what the galaxy believed. He was just a human maintenance worker living on the outer edge of Orion Station, a massive floating city between stars. The station was loud, crowded, and full of strange species. Ethan stayed away from all of it. He worked night shifts, fixed broken panels, and returned to his small metal room. He liked silence. On that night, silence broke. A sharp knock at his door. Not loud, not normal. Careful, almost desperate. Ethan frowned. No one visited him. He checked the small screen beside the door. The hallway lights flickered. The camera showed nothing. Another knock came. Slow, soft. Ethan placed his hand on the door lock. "Who is it?" he asked. No answer. Then a small voice spoke. Weak, shaking. "Please don't open yet." Ethan froze. The voice was not human. Before he could ask anything, alarms began screaming across Orion Station. Red lights flashed. A cold mechanical voice echoed through the halls. Security alert. Unregistered alien detected. All units respond. Ethan stepped back. His heart started beating fast. Unregistered aliens were illegal. Everyone knew that. The punishment was immediate arrest, or worse. The knocking turned into scratching. "Please," the voice whispered again. "They will take me." Ethan looked at the door. Logic told him to walk away, to report it, to stay safe. But something in that voice stopped him. Slowly, he opened the door. A small figure stood there. She was a young alien girl, not taller than Ethan's chest. Her skin glowed a soft blue, like moonlight on water. Large, bright eyes stared up at him, full of fear. She wore a torn silver dress, and her hands trembled. Behind her, security drones floated down the hallway. She looked at Ethan and grabbed his hand. "Pretend you are my dad," she said quickly. "Just 5 minutes. Please." Ethan's mind went blank. "What?" he whispered. The girl pressed closer. Her body shook. "If they ask," she said, "say I belong to you." Footsteps grew louder. Ethan looked down at her. He saw tears forming in her glowing eyes. He saw a child about to be lost in a galaxy that showed no mercy. The drones turned the corner. There was no time. Ethan stepped forward and pulled the girl inside. The door slid shut just as heavy boots stopped outside. A loud metallic knock shook the door. "Open." Station security. Ethan took a deep breath. His hands were shaking. He opened the door. 3 security officers stood there, tall, armored. Their helmets hid their faces. A scanner drone floated between them. "Sir," one officer said, "we are searching for an unregistered alien child." The scanner moved forward. The girl wrapped her arms around Ethan's waist. "Daddy," she said softly. The word hit him hard. Ethan swallowed. He placed a hand on her head. "Yes," he said. His voice almost broke. "I'm here." The officers paused. The scanner beeped and flashed lights across both of them. "Your species do not match," the officer said coldly. Ethan nodded. "She's adopted." Silence. "Human law allows adoption across species," Ethan continued, "filed under old Earth protocols." The scanner beeped again. Yellow light. Emotional bond detected. The drone announced. The girl held Ethan tighter. Her small hands gripped his shirt like he was the only solid thing in the universe. The officers exchanged looks. 5 minutes, one said finally. "If this is false, you will be arrested." They turned and walked away. The hallway grew quiet again. Ethan closed the door and leaned against it, breathing hard. The girl looked up at him. "Thank you," she said. "You saved me." Ethan stared at her. "Who are you?" he asked. Her eyes glowed brighter. "I just needed 5 minutes," she said. "But now the ship has seen you." Ethan frowned. "What ship?" Suddenly, the floor beneath them vibrated. Outside the station window, something ancient began to wake. And Ethan Carter realized one simple truth. His life would never be quiet again. Ethan did not sleep that night. He sat on the edge of his narrow bed, watching the alien girl closely. She stood near the small window, looking at the stars outside Orion Station. Her blue skin glowed softly in the dim light, like she was part of space itself. You said the ship saw me, Ethan finally said. What does that mean? The girl turned slowly. Her eyes were calm now, but deep inside them was something heavy. Ancient. The ship watches for bonds, she replied. Not blood. Feeling. Ethan frowned. That doesn't make sense. She tilted her head. Humans say that often. Before Ethan could reply, the station lights flickered again. A low hum filled the room, deep and old, like something massive was moving far away. Ethan walked to the window. Outside, hidden behind the station's metal rings, a dark shape floated silently. It was not part of Orion Station. It was too smooth, too alive. What is that? Ethan whispered. The girl joined him. That is my ship. Ethan stared. That thing is looking for you? No, she said quietly. It was waiting for you. Ethan stepped back. You said 5 minutes. I said what you needed to hear, she answered. If I told the truth, you would have said no. Ethan ran a hand through his hair. Kid, I don't know who you are or what you are, but security will come back. They cannot take me now, she said. As if on cue, a sharp beep echoed through the room. Ethan's wall screen turned on by itself. Incoming station notice. Unauthorized biological anomaly detected. Ethan's heart dropped. They are coming, he said. The girl nodded. Yes, because my ship woke up. Heavy footsteps thundered through the hallway again. Louder this time. More boots. More drones. Ethan looked at the door, then at the girl. Listen, he said, lowering his voice. If you run, maybe... She shook her head. They will catch me. Or kill you. That stopped him. She stepped closer and looked up at him. Humans are strange, she said. You feared danger, but you still stepped toward it. I didn't sign up for this, Ethan muttered. I know, she said softly. That is why the ship chose you. The door shook as something heavy hit it. Open immediately, a voice shouted. Ethan stood in front of the girl without thinking. The door slid open. This time, the security team was larger. 6 officers. 2 combat drones. Their weapons were ready. The lead officer stepped forward. You lied, he said. There's a ship responding to your life signs. Ethan raised his hand slowly. I don't control ships. The scanner drone moved closer to Ethan's chest. It hummed, glowing brighter. Human, the officer said, step aside. The girl's hand tightened around Ethan's sleeve. No, Ethan said. The word surprised even him. She stays with me, he added. The officer laughed. You are nothing special, just a human worker. The scanner suddenly changed color. Green. Warning. The drone announced. Protective emotional response detected. High priority. The officers froze. What? One of them whispered. The ship outside shifted. A deep sound echoed through station. Low, powerful, ancient. Lights across Orion Station dimmed for a second. The girl spoke, her voice calm but strong. The ship protects family, she said. And right now he is mine. The lead officer backed away slowly. This is beyond station authority, he said. Fall back. They retreated, their boots echoing down the hall. The door closed. Silence returned. Ethan exhaled slowly, his legs weak. What are you? He asked. The girl looked at him for a long moment. My name is Leora, she said. I am the last child of the Aurelian crown. Ethan stared. Royalty? Yes. Why me? She met his eyes. Because humans protect even when they should not, she said. And because the ship needed to see that. Outside, the massive alien ship rotated slightly, locking onto Ethan's location. A soft voice filled the room. Bond confirmed. Guardian recognized. Ethan's blood ran cold. Guardian, he whispered. Leora smiled faintly. You said yes, she said. That was enough. Far across the station, alarms began again. But this time, they were not for her. They were for everyone else. The room felt smaller after the ship spoke. Ethan stood still, his back against the wall. The words Guardian recognized echoed in his mind again and again. He looked at Leora, the small alien girl, who now stood calmly in the center of the room. "You said 5 minutes," Ethan said quietly. "Now the station thinks I belong to you." Leora lowered her eyes. "I did not want to trap you." "But you did," he replied. There was no anger in his voice, only confusion. The ship outside hummed softly, like it was listening. Ethan walked to the window. The massive alien vessel floated close to Orion Station now. Its surface looked smooth, almost alive, covered in slow-moving light patterns. "That thing could destroy the station," Ethan said. "Yes," Leora answered, "but it will not. Humans live here." Ethan turned sharply. "That's it? That's the reason?" Leora looked up at him. "Yes." Ethan laughed once, short and tired. "You trust humans more than your own kind?" She nodded. "My people trust power," she said. "Humans trust choice." She sat on the floor, pulling her knees close to her chest. For the first time, she looked like a child again. "My mother was Queen Aurelice," she continued. "She ruled the Aurelians for 300 cycles." Ethan listened in silence. "Our empire fell," Leora said. "Not to war, to fear. Other species feared what we were becoming." "What were you becoming?" Ethan asked. "Untouchable." Her voice trembled slightly. "They destroyed our worlds, hunted our bloodline. I was hidden, moved from place to place." Ethan clenched his fists. "And that ship?" he asked. "It is a last-crowned ship," Leora said. "It obeys one law only." She looked up at him again. "Protect the child until a guardian is chosen." Ethan shook his head. "Why not another Aurelian?" "They tried," she said. "They failed." "Why?" "Because they wanted the crown," Leora replied. "Not me." Ethan felt a heavy weight settle in his chest. "So the ship needed feelings," he said slowly. "Yes," she replied. "Real ones." Ethan remembered the moment at the door, the fear in her eyes, his own body moving without thought. "That's when it happened," he whispered. Leora nodded. "When you stood in front of me," she said. "The ship saw you." A warning beep interrupted them. The station screen turned on again. "Galactic notice. Aurelian signal confirmed. All non-human personnel are advised to evacuate Sector 7. Ethan stared at the message. "They are afraid of you," he said. "They are afraid of humans," Leora corrected gently. Outside, alien ships began to move away from Orion Station. Ethan leaned against the wall. "I'm not a soldier," he said. "I fix broken doors." Leora walked up to him and placed her small hand on his arm. "My people believe strength was born," she said. "Yours is chosen." Ethan looked down at her. "You call me your guardian," he said. "Yes." "Do I get a choice now?" She hesitated. The ship hummed again, louder this time. "Guardian bond active," the voice said. "Threats detected. Extraction recommended." Ethan's heart raced. "You're leaving," he said. Leora nodded slowly. "I must. They will come." "And me?" Her eyes searched his face. "If you stay," she said, "they will hurt you." Ethan laughed softly. "They already will." He knelt in front of her. "You used me," he said. "I know," she whispered. "But you also trusted me," he continued. "Yes." Ethan stood up. "Then I'm not done yet," he said. Leora's eyes widened. "You will come with me?" she asked. Ethan looked once more around his small room, his quiet life, his safe corner of the galaxy. Then he looked at the child who had no one left. "I said yes once," he replied. "I won't take it back." The ship outside responded instantly. A beam of soft light appeared near the window. "Guardian accepted," the voice said. "Human classification updated." Ethan stared. "Updated to what?" he asked. Leora smiled, a real smile this time. "To something new." Alarms echoed across Orion Station as docking clamps released. The galaxy had just made a mistake. It had underestimated a human who chose to care, and the crowned ship prepared to show them why that mattered. The moment Ethan stepped into the beam of light, the room disappeared. Cold air touched his skin. The sound of the station faded away. For one heartbeat, he felt weightless, like space itself was holding him. Then the floor formed beneath his feet. Ethan stood inside the crown ship. The walls were smooth and curved, glowing with soft gold and blue light. The air felt warm, alive, almost friendly. Leora stood beside him, calm and steady, like she had always belonged here. "Welcome, Guardian Ethan," the ship's voice said. "Protective protocols active." Ethan swallowed. "You really don't do small steps, do you?" Leora looked up at him. "It likes you." "I noticed," Ethan replied. Suddenly, the ship shook. A loud impact echoed through the hull. Red light flashed. "Warning," the ship announced. "Hostile vessels detected. Intercept in progress." Ethan's stomach dropped. Through a large viewing screen, space filled with movement. Dark alien ships surrounded the crown ship, sharp and aggressive like metal claws. Leora's expression hardened. "They found us," she said. "Who are they?" Ethan asked. "The hunters," she replied. "They killed my mother." The screen zoomed in on one of the enemy's ships. A tall alien appeared, its face long and pale, eyes black and empty. "Return the child." The alien voice echoed. "She does not belong with you, human." Ethan stepped forward. "She belongs with me," he said. The alien laughed. "You are weak," it said. "Your species is fragile. You live short lives." Ethan clenched his jaw. "We live them well." The alien's eyes narrowed. "Move aside," it ordered. "You are not her kind." Ethan shook his head. "No," he said simply. The crowned ship hummed, responding to his voice. The hunters opened fire. Energy blasts slammed into the ship's shields. The ship shook again, harder this time. Leora stumbled, and Ethan grabbed her, pulling her close. "Guardian," the ship said. "Combat control available." Ethan blinked. "Combat what?" A panel of light formed in front of him, showing systems and controls he did not understand. "I don't know how to fight a space battle," he said. "You already are," the ship replied. Another blast hit. Ethan looked at Leora. She was trembling now, but her eyes stayed on him. "You don't have to do this," she said. "Yes, I do," Ethan replied. The ship's systems shifted. Instead of advanced weapons, simple tools appeared. Magnetic barriers, redirected shields, old human-style physics. Ethan realized something. The ship was adapting to him. "Okay," he said slowly. "I can work with this." He focused. He adjusted shield angles, redirected energy, used debris as cover. He did not overpower the enemy. He outthought them. The hunters hesitated. "This is impossible," one of them said. "He is human." Ethan smiled grimly. "That's the problem," he muttered. One hunter ship moved closer, charging its main weapon. Ethan saw it instantly. "Ship," he said, "can you open a hull vent near them?" "Yes," the ship replied. The crowned ship released a sudden wave of pressure. The hunter ship lost control, spinning into its own fleet. Two ships collided. Explosions lit the darkness of space. The alien commander screamed in rage. "Kill the human." A boarding pod launched toward the crowned ship. Red lights flashed again. "Boarders incoming," the ship warned. Ethan took a deep breath. "This part won't understand," he said. A section of the ship opened. The boarding pod slammed inside. 3 hunters jumped out, tall and armored, weapons raised. Ethan stepped in front of Leora. The hunters laughed. "He thinks he can protect her," one sneered. Ethan picked up a heavy metal tool from the floor. "Simple. Solid. I don't think," he said. "I choose." The hunters attacked. Ethan moved fast. He used a narrow space, the walls, gravity shifts. He struck hard, aiming to disable, not kill. 1 hunter fell. Then another. The last one hesitated. Ethan stared it down. The hunter backed away slowly. "Humans are wrong," it whispered. Ethan didn't answer. The ship sealed the breach. Silence returned. Leora stared at him, eyes wide. "You fought them," she said. Ethan knelt, breathing hard. "I told you," he said. "Humans protect." The ship's voice softened. "Guardian performance exceeds prediction." Outside, the remaining hunter ships retreated. Leora placed her hand on Ethan's arm. "My people believed power made you strong," she said. "But you showed me something else." Ethan looked out at the stars. We're not the strongest, he said. We just don't walk away. Far across space, other species were watching, and for the first time, they were afraid of humans. The battle lasted only minutes, but its echo traveled across the galaxy. Inside the crown ship, the alarm slowly faded. The hum of the engines became calm again, deep and steady. Ethan stood near the main viewing screen, watching the last hunter ships jump away into darkness. They ran, he said quietly. They are afraid, Leora replied. She stood beside him, her small hands folded in front of her. Her eyes followed the stars, but her mind was far away. For the first time since Ethan had met her, she looked safe. The crown ship spoke again, softer now. Threat eliminated. Guardian integrity stable. Ethan sighed, glad to hear it. Leora looked up at him. You fought like a warrior. Ethan shook his head. No, I fought like a human. Elsewhere in space, others were watching. On distant stations and command ships, screens replayed the same moment again and again. A single human standing between an alien child and trained hunters. A human using thought, not brute force. A human refusing to step aside. Whisper spread. That was a human? They bonded with an alien child? The crown ship obeyed him? In the Krell Dominion, commanders stared in silence. In the Virex Union, scientists began urgent studies. In human space, old captains smiled quietly. Inside the crown ship, Leora turned toward Ethan. My people will hear of this, she said. They will want me to return. Ethan nodded. And do you want that? She hesitated. I want to be safe, she said. But I also want to choose. Ethan crouched to her level. Then we'll make sure you get that chance, he said. Suddenly, the ship changed course. Stars stretched as the ship jumped into faster travel. Where are we going? Ethan asked. Human space, the ship replied. Highest probability of long-term protection. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Smart ship. It learned from you, Leora said. The ship dropped out of warp near a human patrol zone. 3 human ships appeared on screen. Old models. Heavy armor. Scratch paint. But they held position without fear. A human voice came through the channel. This is Captain Reyes of the HSS Valor. Identify yourselves. Ethan stepped forward. My name is Ethan Carter, he said. I need help. There was a pause. Then Captain Reyes spoke again, slower this time. Are you the human protecting the Aurelian child? Ethan blinked. You've heard already? Reyes chuckled softly. The whole sector has. The human ships moved closer, forming a loose shield around the crown ship. You're under human protection now, Reyes said. Both of you. Leora looked at Ethan, surprised. They came, she whispered. Ethan nodded. Humans show up. But not everyone was happy. A new signal cut through the space. An alien council emblem appeared on screen. Human, a cold voice said, You're interfering with galactic balance. Ethan folded his arms. She's a child, he replied. Not a weapon. The Aurelians are dangerous, the voice continued. Their bloodline must end. Leora's hands trembled. Ethan stepped forward. Then you should have ended us first, he said. Silence filled the channel. The council speaker narrowed its eyes. You threaten the galaxy? Ethan shook his head. No, he said. I protect my family. That word echoed. Family. The crown ship pulsed with light. Guardian emotional bond confirmed. It announced. The council feed cut out. Human ships remained. Leora slowly reached out and took Ethan's hand. Back on the station, she said softly. I called you Dad to survive? Ethan looked down at her. And now, he asked. She squeezed his hand. Now, I mean it. Ethan's chest tightened. Far away, the galaxy adjusted its calculations. Humans were no longer just workers and soldiers. They were guardians. They were pack builders. They were a species that claimed family across the stars. And that made them very dangerous. The crown ship turned toward a new destination. Ahead waited answers. Behind them, fear followed. And somewhere in the dark, something far worse than the hunters was watching. The warning came without sound. No alarms. No flashing lights. The crowned ship simply slowed. Stars outside the window stopped stretching. Space became still, heavy, like the galaxy was holding its breath. Ethan felt it first. "Something's wrong," he said. Leora looked up at him. Her eyes darkened. "They are here." The human ships around them shifted position. Weapons powered up. Shields locked. Captain Rhea's voice came through again, tense. "All units, we have unknown contacts. Not hunters." The viewing screen changed. Space itself seemed to bend. Then they appeared. Massive ships, black and sharp, with no markings. They did not move like normal vessels. They slid through space, silent and calm, as if they did not care about physics. Leora's hand began to shake. "The No Lords," she whispered. "They end bloodlines." Ethan stared. "Bigger than hunters?" "Yes," she said. "Smarter." A signal forced its way onto every channel. A tall figure formed on the screen. Its body looked thin, almost fragile, but its eyes burned with cold intelligence. "Human guardian," it said. "Release the child." Ethan stepped forward. "No." The No Lord tilted its head. "You do not understand," it said. "Her existence creates instability." "She's a kid," Ethan replied. "Kids don't create wars. Adults do." The No Lord ignored him. "To the human fleet," it said. "Move away. This is not your concern." Captain Reyes did not hesitate. "It became our concern the moment you threatened a child," he said. "Human ships tighten formation. Old ships, outdated weapons." The No Lords did not laugh. They attacked. Space exploded with light. Human shields flared as energy tore into them. One ship spun away, damaged. Another lost weapons. "Hold the line," Reyes shouted. Inside the crown ship, system screamed. Overwhelming force detected. The ship warned. Guardian survival probability low. Leora looked up at Ethan, fear clear in her eyes. "I am sorry," she said. "I brought this to you." Ethan knelt in front of her. "Hey," he said softly. "Look at me." She did. "Humans don't measure choice by survival," he said. "We measure it by meaning." The ship shook violently. A human ship exploded outside. Leora gasped. Ethan closed his eyes for a moment. Then he stood. "Ship," he said. "Send a broadcast." "To whom?" the ship asked. Ethan looked at the stars. "Everyone." The signal went out across open space, across stations, across colonies, across old human worlds. Ethan's voice filled the channel. "This is Ethan Carter," he said. "I am not a commander. I am not important." Human ships took heavy fire. "But there is a child here," Ethan continued, "and she needs protection." More ships arrived. Small ones, cargo ships, old patrol craft, even civilian vessels. Human voices answered, "We hear you. Hold on. You're not alone." The No Lord's eyes narrowed. "This is illogical," it said. "That's humans," Ethan replied. The battle grew wild. Humans did not fight in lines. They blocked shots meant for others. They rammed enemy ships. They sacrificed position for people. The crowned ship glowed brighter. "Guardian resolve exceeding limits," it announced. Leora felt something awaken inside her. Light spread across her skin. Symbols appeared in the air around her. Ethan turned. "Leora?" She looked scared, but strong. "My mother sealed my power," she said, "to keep me a child." The No Lord saw it. "End this," it ordered. A massive energy wave charged toward the crown ship. Ethan stepped in front of Leora. Without thinking, human ships moved too. They formed a wall. The wave hit. Space went white. Silence followed. Slowly, vision returned. Human ships were damaged. Some were gone, but the crown ship still stood. The No Lord's flagship was cracked, burning. The figure on screen stared in disbelief. "You chose extinction," it said. Ethan shook his head. "No," he said. "We chose each other." The No Lords retreated. Stars returned to normal. Inside the crown ship, Leora collapsed. Ethan caught her. The ship spoke softly. Royal power stabilized. Ethan held her close, exhausted. The battle was over, but the galaxy would never forget what it had seen. And Ethan knew the final choice was still ahead. The stars were quiet again. Debris floated slowly through space, glowing like fading embers. The crowned ship moved forward at a gentle pace, surrounded by damaged but proud human vessels. Inside, the ship was calm. Ethan sat on the floor, his back against the wall, holding Leora in his arms. Her breathing was slow and steady now. The glowing symbols around her had faded, leaving her looking small again. Just a child. A human medic knelt beside them. "She'll be okay," the medic said softly. "Just tired." Ethan nodded. "Yeah, me too." Captain Reyes entered the chamber. His uniform was torn, his face tired, but his eyes were clear. "You did it," Reyes said. "Both of you." Ethan shook his head. "We all did." Reyes smiled slightly. "Galactic Council is calling an emergency session," he said. "They want talk." Leora stirred in Ethan's arms. Her eyes opened slowly. "Are they angry?" she asked. Ethan looked down at her. "Probably," he said. "But that's their problem." A large screen formed in front of them. The Galactic Council appeared, dozens of different species, all watching in silence. Fear, curiosity, respect. One of the elders spoke. "Human Ethan Carter," it said, "you have disrupted centuries of balance." Ethan stood, still holding Leora. "You killed her family," he replied. Balance was already broken. Murmurs spread across the council. Another voice spoke. "The Aurelian child is dangerous," it said. "Her power. She didn't choose it," Ethan interrupted. "But I chose her." Silence followed. The crowned ship spoke, its voice filling the chamber. "Guardian bond permanent," it announced. "Separation will result in system refusal." The council reacted instantly. "You cannot allow this," one member said. "A human cannot raise a royal alien." Ethan looked straight at them. "Watch us." Leora tightened her grip on his jacket. "I don't want to rule through fear," she said. Her voice was small but steady. "I want to learn how humans protect." The council exchanged uneasy looks. Finally, the first elder spoke again. "The galaxy has seen what humans will do," it said. "For a family, for strangers." It paused. "New law will be written." A symbol appeared on the screen. Galactic Law Update. Cross-species guardianship recognized. Forced bloodline extinction prohibited. Ethan exhaled slowly. Leora smiled. Later, the crowned ship landed on a quiet human world. Green fields. Open sky. No fear. Ethan stood on the grass, unsure. "This place feels strange," Leora said, looking around. "Yeah," Ethan replied. "It's called peace." They built a small home near the hills. Leora learned human things. Simple things. Food, music, stories, laughter. Ethan learned alien things too. History, loss, hope. Sometimes ships passed overhead. Sometimes aliens visited. They came not to demand, but to learn. The galaxy changed. Humans were no longer underestimated. They were studied, not for weapons, but for why they cared. One night, Leora stood beside Ethan, watching the stars. "You were never meant to be my father," she said. Ethan smiled softly. "No," he agreed. She looked up at him. "But you became one." Ethan placed a hand on her head. "Best choice I ever made." Far across space, legend began to form. Not of power, not of kings, but of a human who said yes to a scared child, and in doing so, taught the galaxy what family truly meant.